my fellow vigilantes, I'm your host, Magnus Batman, and in this video specifically, I'm going to do something different. I'm going to give you guys a bundle review of Ma and Aladdin. It's just that I had a busy schedule and a few things have come across my schedule that I just prevented me from actually doing separate videos of Ma and Aladdin. So I want to make this crisp and clean and concise and quick in the format to give you guys a good review, so therefore it will determine whether or not you should see this film in theaters. First off, we have Ma, and this movie was directed by Taylor. And this film stars Octavia Spencer as a lonely woman who invites teenagers to her basement to drink booze and have some fun. Soon as these teenagers enter her basement, they start to realize there are dark secrets that start to reveal themselves revolving around Octavia Spencer's character. And we have the movie Ma. Ma is a weird, interesting film in my eye. To really talk about the positives is Octavia Spencer, hands down. Octavia Spencer, she plays a lonely woman, and there is something with her character, and also the film explains the reason why she's inviting these teenagers to her basement. But still, Octavia Spencer's performance was just out of the park, creepy and satisfying. And you can tell that Octavia Spencer was having a good time with her role. You can tell that she was free of herself because Octavia Spencer was crazy in this movie. But outside of Octavia Spencer, her performance alone doesn't really save this movie to be good or considered great in my eyes, and that basically has to do with the screenplay of this movie. There's opportunities in the movie that where characters are presented an opportunity to end the film based off their actions, but the screenplay demands these characters to go back to the basement only because they need to progress the plot. Clearly, for the setting like this, if it was in a real life scenario, if you meet a crazy Octavia Spencer on the street who wants to party in the basement, only thing I gotta do is, hey, I appreciate it, but no thank you, I'm going to go home. There's opportunities where characters could have done that. It was just so easy and simple that the movie could have ended. Even when the teenagers caught wind of Octavia Spencer's character's dark past, these characters are still compelled to go back to the basement even after they already decided they're not going to because of this specific reason. There's no specific reason why they went back to the basement. It just happened. And I had a problem with it because that's when the screenplay has no regard for human logic or anything. It's just doing it just to be doing it. This film does have pacing issues in the second act only because the film doesn't really know what to do outside of having teenagers having fun in the basement. It doesn't know what it wanted to introduce. It doesn't know what kind of subplot it wanted to introduce. It had to be focused on this specific location, which is the basement. And the film has a hard time trying to develop other ways to make this film entertaining outside of Octavia Spencer. But since this film doesn't know what to do, this film does feel boring outside of Octavia Spencer in that way. I'm going to give Ma a Michael Keaton Batman. This is a fine movie. Octavia Spencer is the best thing about it. But if you want to watch this movie for Octavia Spencer, definitely go ahead and check it out. But for film itself, I recommend saving your money and just wait till it's on Netflix or on Redbox or Blu-ray and DVD. Aladdin is a new movie directed by Guy Pearce, and this movie is a remake of the classic film Aladdin. And this film stars Naomi Scott, Mina Moissoy. If I got his name wrong, please forgive me. Also, this film stars Will Smith as Genie. And right after he meets Princess Jasmine, he runs across Jafar, and Jafar kidnaps Aladdin and takes him to this mysterious cave, and he wants Aladdin to retrieve this lamp. And eventually, while searching in the cave, he finds the lamp and he accidentally rubs the lamp, and then Genie is awakened, and we have our movie Aladdin. I actually enjoyed this new remake version of Aladdin. I thought the performances were there. Naomi Scott plays Princess Jasmine in this movie, and I thought that Naomi Scott had the best performance in this whole entire movie, hands down. Also, the controversial aspect of the film is Will Smith's character Genie. In the beginning of the trailer, when Will Smith was first introduced in that first trailer as Genie, the whole entire internet ran amok, and it was just slamming the Genie. Yeah, the CGI wasn't that good in the first trailer, but the CGI wasn't one of the main factors in this movie. I thought the CGI improved in this film, and actually Will Smith's Genie was one of the best things about this movie, and actually, if not the only entertaining factor in this film itself. Every time Will Smith's Genie was on screen, I found myself enjoying the film a little bit more. There's times in this film when Will Smith disappears or is no longer on screen, the film does get a little bit boring. The songs is practically the same songs you heard in the classic Aladdin film. There is a couple of new songs they added into the movie. Nostalgia is there. If you've seen the classic Aladdin movie, you might find yourself, you know, like singing along with some of the songs that they sing in this movie. And it's just, I don't know if it's just me or if I was just stuck in the Disney vortex. Because when you're stuck in the Disney vortex, you can never go back. As for the negatives, I have to say that the main negative in this movie has to be Jafar. The guy who played Jafar. As soon as he opened his mouth, give me the lamp, I was like, okay, I'm done. Every time he opened his mouth, I literally wanted to throw up. Like, his voice was irritating. Every time he talked, every time he had expression, every time he was on screen, I was just irritated. Not because the actor did a good job playing the villain, it's just because the actor did a terrible job of delivering the lines. And I don't know if it was the director who wanted his voice to be like that, or if the actor himself was making himself sound like that. It didn't sound like Jafar. It wasn't Jafar. There's this plot revolving around Jafar where he is trying to invade this country, but there isn't a specific reason why he wants to invade this country. And I feel like it was just in there just so we can have confrontation with certain characters in this movie with no explanation at all. And then once I noticed it, I was like, you're not going to explain that part? You're not going to explain? Oh, so you just added it in there just so we can have a movie. Wow, okay. Still, this film lingers for pacing issues. And the classic movie was 1 hour and 30 minutes. And this movie was 2 hours and 8 minutes. And I could see why there would be pacing issues in there, because the movie should have been, they didn't need to make this movie as long as it is. They should have made it at least 1 hour and 40 minutes, or if not 1 hour and 45 minutes. Didn't need to be 2 hours. I believe if you made this movie 1 hour and 40 minutes, there wouldn't be as many pacing issues as that's noticeable in this movie. Aladdin is a good film. I found myself enjoying it. And also Will Smith's Genie did a damn good job in this movie. This is a fun movie for kids and a fun movie for you. So if you're ever stuck in a Disney vortex, definitely check out this movie. So, guys, that's my review of Aladdin. So what are your thoughts on Aladdin? Please comment below and let's talk about it. And I'll see you guys soon. And that's my bundle review of Ma and Aladdin. So have you seen Ma and Aladdin? Comment below. Give me your thoughts of Ma and Aladdin. And let's talk about it. And I'll see you guys in the next video. And if you like everything you see and you agree, subscribe to my channel and join me in the Batman family. I'll have more Batman-tastic reviews in a way. You have been warned. Till then, ciao.